Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Mama Jnana Timirandasya Jnana Anjana Salakaya Chakhurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Soyam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Sopadantikam Vandeham Siguru Sijudapadakamalam Sigurun Vaisnavanam Cha Nirupam Sagrajatam Sagana Siragunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Radha Krishna Padan Saganalitam Sri Vishakham Vitam Cha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpataruvasya Kurpa Sindhuvaivacha Patitanam Pavanabhya Vaishnavya Bhavo Namo Namah Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasyatma Desatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So thank you very much for attending. So today is the first class of Bhagavad Gita. So I will share the slide. It is very thematic way. So I will now share the slide. So we will discuss. So so this is a 18 days course because we will not continuously speak about this one. So every session, every Saturday we'll speak. So it's a thematic, very easy to know the entire 18th chapter in a very thematic way. At the same time, so without losing any of the without compromising any philosophical understanding. So this is actually a tribute to Srila Prabhupada and the service of Srila Prabhupada. Is a humble attempt to summarize actually the key insight of Bhagavad Gita as it is by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. So it's actually to have the serious student understand the flow, context, philosophy, depth of timeless spiritual masterpiece. So this is the whole idea of this course. So today we will start with observing the armies on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, which is the chapter 1 of the Bhagavad Gita. So it's completely based on the teaching of Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. So we did the Mangalachan. So we will start with a little bit of introduction to Bhagavad Gita. What is Bhagavad Gita? So Srila Prabhupada's introduction into Bhagavad Gita is written that Bhagavad Gita, also known as Gita Upanishad, or the song of God, because Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavat means of Bhagavan, or related to Bhagavan. Gita means song or instruction. So it is also called Gita Upanishad. Why? Because the essence of Vedic knowledge and most important Upanishad in Vedic literature. So Veda has divided into 108 Upanishads. So Upanishads are also called Shruti. Shruti means when it is spoken from the mouth of the Lord. So therefore, Bhagavad Gita is also considered as a Shruti. Shruti Prasthana. There are three kinds of Prasthana, three division of knowledge. And also it is also known as Smriti. Why Smriti? Because it is a part of Mahabharata. And Mahabharata these are called Smriti. Mahabharata, Purana, they are called Smriti. So therefore, it is also Smriti, Purana. And also this also indicates the ultimate goal of life. So this is also Naya Prasthana. Naya means logic. Vedanta Sutra, Brahma Sutra, they are called Naya Shastra. So the Naya, why? Because it is logical test. Systematically, it has been presented by the Supreme Lord. So it is actually everything. So therefore, it is called essence of all Vedic wisdom. It is a doctrine of essence of all doctrine, all philosophy. It is a crown jewel of all Vedic wisdom, a timeless treatise. Prabhupada has written this kind of word in his introduction. So Prabhupada says that many commentary of Bhagavad-Gītā available. Why this edition? Because none of them strictly authoritative. All of them commentators has expressed their own opinion without touching the spirit of Bhagavad-Gītā. Therefore, Prabhupada says that although there are 800 editions, now it is more than 1000 editions. But Bhagavad-Gītā as it is very, very authentic, as it is. And what is the spirit of Bhagavad-Gītā? Without touching the spirit. So what is the spirit? Prabhupada explained that spirit of Bhagavad-Gītā is mentioned in Gita itself. Just like you take the medicine. How you take the medicine? Direction of the doctor. Similarly, Bhagavad-Gītā should be accepted as directed by the speaker, Krishna, not by any kind of mental speculation or by our friends or by our somebody. So therefore, Lord Krishna himself establishes that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead in Bhagavad-Gītā. And great Acharya also, they have accepted like this, just like Shankaracharya, Ramanujacharya. Therefore, as mentioned in all the Purana, everything, that Bhagavad-Gītā should be taken as directed by the Krishna himself, not otherwise, as directed by Krishna. So we should not, anywhere you should not infiltrate any kind of material idea or concocted idea. What is the purpose of Bhagavad-Gītā? So deliver the mankind from nescience of material existence. The Prabhupada word, all this Prabhupada word made it a point. So because we are suffering in this material world, we are rotating since time immemorial. We do not know even. You see, the Brahma lives for 311 trillion 40 billion, 11, 10, 30. It is stated, the Brahma's here. And for this creation, because when Lord Vishnu, Mahavishnu, or Karandakasya Vishnu, lying on the Karanjal, when he is breathing, by exhaling, there are millions of universe coming out. Just shaken is Swasita Kalam Athavalam Jivanti Loma Vilaja Jagadandanatha. Muhu. So this is called 548 Brahma Samhita. By his perspiration, by his breathing process, from his pores, billions of, trillions of universe coming. And when he's inhaling, just like we are breathing, billions of, trillions of universe coming out. When exhaling, they are winding up. That means within the gap of the exhaling, inhaling is 311 trillion and 40 billion. That is the duration of the gap between one exhaling, one inhaling of Vishnu. How powerful Supreme Lord is. No? Like this, there are so many breathing and so many creation. And in this creation itself, they say that in Canto 3, one verse I will show you later, that Brahma has already completed 50 years. So that means we have gone through 155 trillion year and 20 billion year. 115 trillion, 20 billion. 155 trillion. So how much time we have gone through? This creation only. Still we have been not delivered. We are still in the material existence. I mean, how many creation will be there? That means we are called Nityavada. Since time memorial, we have been conditioned. So the Bhagavad-Gītā is very, very important. Essence of all doctrine, essence of all Vedic knowledge. Why? Because the purpose of Bhagavad-Gītā is one purpose. That's all. Deliver the mankind from the science of material existence. Krishna is Father. Father is always affectionate. Although we are like rebellious child, we are very much contemptuous, presumptuous, we are very adamant, stubborn. We have no mood to reconcile with the Lord, but still the Father is always affectionate. He comes and convincing us, conversing us through this Bhagavad Gita, which is spoken from his mouth personally. He comes to the only purpose to deliver the mankind from the science of material existence. How much is anxious? I'll show you later a Brihad Bhagavad Amrita. There's a very nice verse, 2468, I think. He says that Lord is waiting for us. He's so anxious, so painful. When this jiva, all the conditioned soul will turn towards me, turn into me. He's waiting for that. When he met the Gopakumar, Sanatan Goswami is explaining that how he has been waiting since long, just like a father, affectionate father. So every man is full of difficulty, anxiety in the material world because we are put into a asat temporary, but we are eternal. That is very nice. Prabhupada says that our existence in a non-existential atmosphere. Therefore, our existence is threatened every moment, any moment, then anything. Jivana talamala. So it is tottering. It's tottering anytime it can be finished. Therefore, we are in anxiety. The material world called anxiety because we are putting in a asat. Asat means which is not real, temporary existence, temporary atmosphere. Out, although we are eternal, but somehow we are in contact with material energy. Therefore, our existence becomes non-existential atmosphere. Out of so many suffering, some inquire why suffering, one solution. Inquiry in Brahma Sutra. This inquiry is called Brahma Jigyasa, Tata Brahma Jigyasa. So actually, Bhagavad Gita is directed toward those persons who can understand this awkward question. I do not want to die, but death enforced upon me. I do not want to be diseased, but disease enforced. I do not want to be old, but old is enforced on me. I do not want this birth, but it is enforced. I do not want any pain, klesa. There are three kinds of klesa means pain. I do not want any get pain from my body and my mind, but it enforced upon us. I do not want to be get pain or get pain by others, but it is enforced. I do not want to get pain by demigods, by calamity, through calamities and through other things, through natural calamity and other things. But it is enforced upon us. So the intelligent person who wants to address this awkward question, because not only it is spoken to Arjuna, who was in a very precarious situation or awkward situation. Actually, Bhagavad Gita is directed or addressed to everyone. Everyone, because everybody in an anxiety due to this non-existential atmosphere. Asadagrahat. Sada samudigna asadagrahat. That is also 755 Prahlad Maharaj said. Sada samugina asadgrahat, because we have been put in a temporary existence, but we are thinking under the influence of Maya is permanent. It's permanent. So therefore we are embarrassed. Prahlad Maharaj also spoke the same thing. We are embarrassed. We are fallen into the dark well. So therefore, to deliver us from this obnoxious material existence, so Lord has spoken this Bhagavad Gita. Therefore, our whole idea, human life begins with Atata Brahma Jigyasa, to inquire about the God, inquire about our awkward position, why we have been put awkward position. Not that you get up and inquire about the stock market, the political news, the social news, the Bollywood, Hollywood, all this news. No, Atata Brahma Jigyasa. First, such sincere student, Bhagavad Gita is spoken. Bhagavad Gita is not spoken those who are not interested in all these things. Why? What is? I mean, they're not interested to get out from this predicament, from this precarious situation, awkward question. Therefore, the divine conversation between a man and God took place in a very ancient battle, which answered the most essential question with utmost ease and clarity. This is the purpose of Bhagavad Gita. Reason for Lord Krishna's appearance. So Lord is appearance to again same thing, the propagate. When people forget their dharma, forget their real purpose of life. Dharma means real purpose of life. So he comes, yada yada dharmasya glani. Dharma tu bhagavata pranitam. So the dharmasya glani, when there is a discrepancy or there is a real purpose of life is lost, or there is a discrepancy in execution of Krishna consciousness, because real purpose of life is sarva dharman parityajam mamekam. That is real dharma. So when that is lost, that is the purpose of life. That purpose of life is lost, then Krishna comes to re-establish. So out of many human beings, some awakens of them, one who actually entered the spirit of understanding his position, for them Bhagavad-Gītā is spoken. So many, they want to inquire, many human beings. But one who actually entered the spirit of understanding his position, that I am spirit soul, somehow I am in a awkward position, and my purpose of life to get out from this and by surrendering to Krishna, then that for them only Bhagavad-Gītā spoken. Lord is very merciful upon living entity. Thus spoke Bhagavad-Gītā to his friend and devotee Arjuna. Because Arjuna is a close friend and also is above ignorance. He was put into ignorance to deliver the message of Bhagavad-Gītā. Actually, Arjuna cannot be in illusion, because he was put so that Lord can deliver this message to everyone. Otherwise, Arjuna is very close associate. How a close associate of the Lord can be bewildered? Krishna Surya Sama Maya Andhakara. Jaha Krishna nahi tara Maya Adhikara. Krishna is like a sun. Where there is a sun, there is no question of, there is no jurisdiction of darkness. So Arjuna cannot be put into dark. But Lord wanted to deliver this essence of all scriptures, essence of all Vedas, essence of all doctrine, all philosophy, a timeless wisdom to all the human beings. So that by adopting the principle of Bhagavad-Gītā, they can get out from this obnoxious material suffering, material existence. That is the real purpose of Bhagavad-Gītā. So Bhagavad-Gītā has actually 5 topics. Who is God? Who am I? Where am I? The Prakriti, material nature. And what I am doing now. Karma, then Kala, the time, under which influence or purview we are doing all the things. So that things we will be discussing throughout this Bhagavad-Gītā. Who is God, who is living entity, and who is material nature. This material nature we are living. So we should know, and what is the time, and what is karma, all the things we will come to know. So therefore, Prabhupada says that this, by adopting the principle enunciated by Srimad Bhagavad-Gītā, one can perfect their life, permanently solve all the problem of life. Therefore, it is said that it is a maladies for, panacea for all maladies, or you can say medicine for all problem, one-stop solution. One stop, that's all. Bhagavad-Gītā is so great, one-stop solution. So therefore, there is a Gita Mahatma where we can see that benefit of study of Bhagavad-Gītā. Gita Shastram idam punyam jo patate prayata puman. Vishnupada vavapnoti soko mabhaya soko bhajita. So if anybody properly prayata puman, Gita Shastram idam punyam is very auspicious, very pious. And if anybody, jo patate prayata puman, anybody who properly study this or follow the instruction of Bhagavad-Gītā. Properly study means from a disciplic succession. That is the real meaning of Prayat Puman. I have given a separate class on Gita Mahatma sometimes back in December. So therefore one has to study through a disciplic succession. Otherwise we cannot understand Bhagavad-Gītā just by buying a book. No. Krishna say, what is that? Sakha cheti, rasamyetam uttam. You are my friend, you are my friend, and you are my devotee. Bhakto simi sakha cheti, rasamyedam. Bhakto, you are my devotee and friend. So therefore, it's not easy to understand. Therefore, we should understand the Bhagavad-Gītā through a disciplic succession. Then only we can understand. And once you follow the instruction of Bhagavad-Gītā, then what will happen? You can free from all misery, anxiety. and you can go back to Godhead. Vishnu Padam Avapnoti. Vishnu Padam means lotus feet of the Lord, which is the goal of our life. So then second Mahatma, I say that if one reads Bhagavad-Gītā very sincerely with all seriousness, then by the grace of Lord, reaction of his past misdeed will not act upon. That's the important thing, because we have so many karma we are carrying forward since time memorial. Prabdha karma, Kuta, Bija, Phalan Mukha. There's so many stages our karma is there. But all the previous karma or past misdeed will not act upon us when one read Bhagavad-Gītā. Abandon all varieties of religion. Therefore, Krishna says, just surrender unto me. Bhagavad-Gītā reading is not about academic achievement. Bhagavad-Gītā reading about how to surrender to Krishna, how to become a devotee of Krishna. That's all. It's not about the academic learning. So therefore, abandon whole purpose of Bhagavad-Gītā course or Bhagavad-Gītā learning is to become a devotee of Krishna. Abandon all varieties of religion, just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you upon all sinful reaction. So and again he says that one may cleanse himself daily by taking bath in water. But if one takes bath even once in sacred Ganges water, Bhagavad-Gītā, for him the dirt of material life altogether vanishes. So he says that, so every day we take bath, but if you take once also Bhagavad-Gītā, once you go through the 18th chapter whole Bhagavad-Gītā, then all the dirt of material life is altogether vanquished. Because Bhagavad-Gītā is spoken by the Supreme Lord, one need not read any other Vedic literature, any other. Because in Soyam Padmanavasya Mukham Padam Vinirgatam, it's spoken by Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself. So therefore, we do not need any, this is the essence of everything. Therefore, the next verse you say that the Sarva Upadi, one who drinks the water of Ganges attains salvation, but one who drink the nectar of Bhagavad-Gītā, then how much benefit one can get? Although the Bhagavad-Gītā is coming out from the mouth of Lord and Ganga coming out the toes, there's no difference between, because Lord is absolute. Angani jasya sakalendra vitimanti. For him, the toe and mouth is non-different. But Prabhupada say in a comparative study, if you see from impartial study, we can appreciate Bhagavad-Gītā even more important than the water of Ganges, because it's coming out from the mouth. So therefore, how important the Bhagavad-Gītā? And Gita Upanishad, the Bhagavad-Gītā is the essence of all Upanishads. They just like a cow. Sarvopada, Sarva Upanishad Gava Dagdam Gopala Nandan. So his whole Upanishad is like a cow. And Lord Krishna, who is famous as cowherd boy. Braje Prasiddham Navanita Chor. Braje, he is cowherd boy, he is Gopal. So he is very famous cowherd boy. And milking this cow in the form of Bhagavad-Gītā. Arjuna is just like a calf. Arjuna Partha Vacha Sudhira Bhakta. Sudhira Bhakta means he is a learned scholar and pure devotee are to drink the nectarian milk of Bhagavad-Gītā. Dugdam Gitamrutam Mahat. So therefore everybody should follow and drink this nectarian milk of Bhagavad-Gītā, which is milked by Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is famous as a coward boy. Eka Shastram Devaki Putra Gita. So in the present state, everybody wants everything one. I mean, have one scripture, one God, one religion, one occupation. Therefore, it is said that Eka Shastram, one scripture is Bhagavad-Gītā. Eka Deva Devaki Putra, one God, that is Krishna, Supreme Personality of God. Eka Mantra Tasya Namanyani, one mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Karma pi ekam tasya devasya seva. One activity that's serving to the Lord. So that is the glories of Bhagavad-Gītā. So then we see that Bhagavad-Gītā has 700 verses, 18 chapter. We have been divided 18 chapter for our better reading. Acharya have divided. So Dhritarashtra spoke 1, Sanjay 41, Arjuna 84, Lord has spoken 574. So the summary is there, the two armies, this one army, it's a family war. So there's a summary, these two armies there, the Pandavas and Kauravas. They are all family, same family. It's a fratricidal war. So they are, and they, you know, they have assembled in a place called Kurukshetra. It's a very, very religious place. Kurukshetra, Dharma Kshetra, Kurukshetra. 2 years back, we went to Kurukshetra, and it was my fortune that I spoke the Bhagavad-Gītā just on the tree. Same thing I was repeating Prabhupada there, just for a half an hour or 20 minutes. But it is a very good place, you know. And so this they were all about to fight and assemble there. Just before the fighting start, so Dhritarashtra is asking Sanjaya that because Dhritarashtra was blind by birth, so therefore he could not see. He wanted to know the, just like a telecast relaying of the match. Similarly, he wanted to know what is going on in the warfield. Therefore, he asked Sanjay. Sanjay is the secretary of Dhritarashtra, and he was also a student of Vyasadeva. So Vyasadeva is a powerful, empowered incarnation of the Lord. In Bhagavatam, we have learned. So he Vyasadeva given a power, empowered Sanjay, so that he can see, even staying in Hastinapur is Delhi, staying in Hastinapur, and here Kurukshetra, which is like 3 hours. So he can envision all these things are going on live, just like we watch a football match, through television. Similarly, television is a gross invention. Those days, people are so advanced. Sometimes they accuse, oh, primitive place. Not primitive. They are more advanced. They can see even through the mind also. Sanjay was seeing through his mind, that what is going on. This is subtle, not even gross. He can see everything and relaying to the, in giving information to the blind King Dhritarashtra. So that was the setting scene actually. And this first chapter is called Observing the Army in the Battlefield of Kurukshetra. So Bhagavad-Gītā starts with the inquiry of Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra inquiring to his secretary that what is going on. The first verse is very, very good verse. So first verse he says that Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre Samaveta Jujusava Mamaka Pandava Chaiva Kim Akrubha Sanjaya. So now war is going to start. And why war is going to start? Because as you know that the story of Mahabharata, that how this Pandavas and Pandavas and Kauravas both are having same family, but Kauravas are very envious of Pandavas. They usurp all the kingdom, and they have done so much injustice to Pandava. Finally, Krishna went to there to ask for a 5 villages, and that also Duryodhana did not give. So rightfully unlawfully, they have taken out or usurped the kingdom of Pandava. As a result, there was no other alternative. They tried peace also. Duryodhana was so obstinate, so adamant. Therefore, war is inevitable. Everybody, both the side, they have arranged their military strength, and they have assembled at the place called Kurukshetra, which is a very religious place. That time, the Duryodhana, Dhritarashtra, who could not see, he is asking the question to his Sanjaya, staying at the Delhi, remotely, that, O Sanjaya, after my sons and son of Pandu assembled in the place of pilgrimage at Kurukshetra, desiring to fight, what did they do? So Bhagavad-Gītā start with this verses, start with this inquiry of Dhritarashtra from his secretary Sanjay about the situation of the battlefield of Kurukshetra. So here you can see that so I have given this slide so that easy to understand. For Dhritarashtra was blind by birth but desired to know the situation on the field. His secretary Sanjay was a student of Vyasa. By the mercy of Vyasa, Sanjay was able to envision the battlefield of Kurukshetra even while he was in the room of Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra asked him about the situation of the battlefield. Sanjay relates activities of the battlefield. So this question is not so easy. This question you should understand why he is why he has asked this question. What is the motive behind this? What is the motive behind this? Reveals his mind. Because Prabhupada said that supposing you are going to a restaurant. So if somebody asks, what are you doing in the restaurant? I'm in the restaurant means I am going to eat. That's all. It is implicit. No need to explicitly express this one. So therefore here Dhritarashtra is asking that Dharma Khetre, Kurukshetra, Samaveta, Jujusava. Jujusava means they desire to fight. They desire to fight means they will fight. But why is asking what did they do? Just like asking a person in the restaurant what you do. Why? Because there's a 4 reasons. Therefore, we should follow the Bhagavad-Gītā through the Acharyas, through Prabhupada or through Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Then we can understand the clarity of this, every verses and everything. The first thing is Dhritarashtra inquiring reveals his mind desirous because he wanted the fight with no compromise. Why? Because he was thinking that my sons are 100 and Pandavas are 5. Therefore, our victory is assured. Therefore, he desires that his son should win. That's all. He is very blind, not spiritually, physically, but spiritually also. He has no idea who is their other side. And second is why doubtful also. Why doubtful? Because here says Dharma Khetre Kurukshetre. This Dharma Khetra is a holy place. So there is a history is there. I will not go today because we have to cover it. Otherwise, sometimes I will say I'll tell you that the Kurukshetra history is there. How the previous king of this lineage, how they have taken this, how they made this Kurukshetra place is a place of pilgrimage, very auspicious place. So it's a sacred place of pilgrimage from time memorial, Religious rituals are performed according to Vedic injunction. Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna was also personally present on the Pandava side. So therefore, it is also very auspicious and sacred. So therefore, it's doubtful because his son might change their mindset. His son may compromise. Because sometimes we go to Dham Jatra, pilgrimage, to say like Vrindavan, Mayapur, Jagannath Puri. Prabhupada say in the purport that even a person which is not so religious, he also may change his consciousness because the ambience is different, spiritually surcharged. Therefore, the Dhritarashtra is doubtful. My son may change his mindset. Pandavas are anyway virtuous. There's no question of changing their mindset. They always got to compromise. They were forced to come to war due to obstinacy of Duryodhana. Exact what Prabhupada was writing. Obstinacy of Duryodhana, they're forced to come. Otherwise, they are virtuous. They want peace. They do not want 5 villages only. That's all. And Duryodhana was so adamant, I will not give even a land which is measured as needles, point of needles. That kind of, obstinacy. Therefore, he is doubtful. Then he is fearful. Why fearful? Because this place is called Dharma Khetra. Dharma Khetra means it will support the Dharma, who follows the Dharma. Pandavas are very virtuous. So, therefore, he is feared that holy place influence the outcome of the war. That means it will favor the Pandavas. Therefore, it will favor, he knew that it will favor the virtuous Pandava. Therefore, he is fearful. He is asking, what did they do? Kim akrupata Sanjaya? There is so many inner things are there, and partial also. Mamaka Pandava Chaiva Kim akrupat. What is this Mamaka Pandava? Both are Kuru family. And your brother is Pandu, your younger brother. Pandu's sons are Pandavas. Your son is Kaurava. They both are Kuru dynasty. Under the tutelage of Visvambhar, under the protection of Visvambhar, all Kuru family. But you are now, what you say, they say, segregating, discriminating, Mamaka separating Pandava from the family lineage. Mamaka Pandava Chaiva Kim Akrupat Sanjay. That means it disclosed the mindset of, therefore I say here, it reveals his mindset. It disclosed the mind of Dhritarashtra. How he was so malicious, so envious. As you understand the words simply dharma kshetra kurukshetra, but you understand real meaning. These are all the things are given by Prabhupada in the lecture. Not even Vishwanath Chakravarti. Prabhupada even given. Vishwanath Chakravarti also given. Baldev Vidyavasan also given this some of the points. So this is Prabhupada lecture and all. So this is the thing. I made it very short, so we can easily understand. Writing also there, the same thing. So writing also there. This is the thing. Yeah. Now we can go up second verses. Second verses he says that Sanjay Bacha. Now Sanjay is relating. The start to second verse means it is a theme, second theme also. Sanjay Bacha Dishtatu Pandavanikam Vyudham Duryodhana Tada Acharyam Upasangam Rajavachana Brabit. Sanjay said, O king, after looking over the army arranged in a military formation by the son of Pandu, King Duryodhana went to his teacher and spoke following word. Here, very important key insight from the purport. Dhritarashtra anxiety, blind, spiritually bereft, he doubted the holy place influence on his son. Sanjay reassurance encouraged the king, assuming that no compromise, because he's doubtful, may compromise, Now Sanjay knows his mind, king mind. He told, never, no, don't be certain, my dear king. Duryodhana is now all preparing for the war. Actually, second thing we can say preparation of the war. Duryodhana action is he approached the um, uh, his his uh, his uh, his teacher Dronacharya to to uh, to not estimate but to analyze the situation of gravity of the situation of the war. So in fear revealed, despite his diplomatic veneer, Duryodhana was fearful upon seeing the Pandava. Because why he is now approaching after seeing the military arrangement? Supposing you see two uh, two teams are, two parties are fighting, India or some other country, Pakistan like this. But a military commander, a soldier is coming to military commander for analysis. That means that something is wrong. He found something wrong, is fearful. This analysis, analyzing the other party. What is that fearful? Because he's surprised that I have taken all their kingdom. There is no financial resources. How can Pandava arrange military and do do a very excellent military arrangement? Therefore, he is fearful, but is hiding the fear. He did not expect such kind of arrangement, such kind of organization, because Pandavas were bereft of kingdom, financial resources, all the things. But he was internally, because he was a diplomat, and he internally masked his fear. Outwardly, he has get confidence. No, then immediately he was asking the things to Dronacharya. He's asking that he's provoking Dronacharya that your student is your enemy's son, Drupada son is Drishtadumna. Drishtadumna is a military commander of Pandava side. So he is now inciting Dronacharya. You know who is his commander in chief? His commander in chief is the enemy of your son. Not only enemy of your son, but your teacher, or you are the teacher, your student also. He is your student. So please, now I am doing fighting. I do not want any kind of leniency. You are great Acharya. Therefore, even a son of your enemy approaches you for teaching, because you are so merciful, you are so compassionate, you have given his you have imparted the education, military art. But now I am the king, I am fighting because this is my war, so I do not want that kind of leniency. He is diplomat, at the same time inciting by reminding him that you have an enmity with Drupad, and his son now against you, and he who is happened to be your student even. So this kind of highlighting the opposing general Dushtadamna, son of Drupa, to remind Dronacharya of past enemy. This is called diplomacy. He's inciting Dronacharya. You fight, no more leniency. See, your enemies. Otherwise, Dronacharya say that Pandavas are very good. Why should I fight? No. Because they were always supporting the Drona and Bhishma. Bhishma, they have always in support of Pandavas because they were virtuous. So there is the manipulative diplomacy of the Duryodhana. Then he is assessing army. You can see the chapter 2 to 11. You can see all they are assessing the army. Assessing the army. Paschatum Pandu Putranam. And he's assessing the strength of both the sides. Like he is saying to Dronacharya that you see their side, so many warrior is there, our side so many warrior. So he's assessing both the side of the strength. That is a good diplomat. Prabhupada says that a diplomat they should be like this, because without assessing opposition army, one should not go for war. And after assessing what he is saying, that he's comparing that our assessing that acknowledging the formidable warrior, comparing them to Bhima and Arjuna, because Duryodhana knows that what is the strength of Bhima and Arjuna. And he also boasted his highly experienced officer Bhishma, Kanna, Kirpa, ready to die for him. Now he's assessing both the warrior. After that, his biased comparison. He's thinking that a calculated, Kauravas are immeasurable because we are under the protection of the Bhishma, invincible Bhishma. But Pandava's army are very limited under the less experienced Bhima. Because Bhima is okay, great strength man, but it's not like, like Bhishma. So therefore, he is coming into a very biased conclusion that, oh, our strength is immeasurable. That is the preparation of the war, verse 2 to verse 11. I forget to, I could have added some verses, so I thought it will be heavy. So now, after this, after Duryodhana estimate the, comparative strength and conclude that our strength is immeasurable, now Krishna and Arjuna sound a transcendental counsel. Oh, that is the beginning. Because now the war begins. Nowadays, there is no whistle and all. Those days, war begins the indication of blowing of counsel or so many other instrument, trumpet, all this. That was the system. So here it is said that on the other side, both Lord Krishna, Arjuna stationed on the great chariot drawn by the white horse sounded the transcendental counsel. This is where the sign of victory. Because here the transcendental counsels, Dibya, but Bhishma also sounded. Before that, Bhishma also sounded. First Kaurava sounded Bhishma, but it was not Dibya Sankha. Here it is written, it is a Dibya Sankha. Dibyo Sankho Pradhamatu. So it is Dibya Sankha means transcendental concept. So there is a victory is always there. Why? Because the transcendental counsel is like, unlike Vishmadev, Krishna and Arjuna counsel were transcendental. Their sound indicates no hope for victory for opposing side. That is sign of victory. It's a Dibya Sankha. Sankha is meant for, Sankha is a sign of victory. Just like we are blowing counsel, sign of victory. All glories to Supreme Lord. So Krishna's personal presence, that made the victory also. There are so many reasons of sign of victory. That is it. Victory is always with the Pandavas because Krishna is associated with them. Jayasu Pandu Putranam Jayasam Pakke Dhanardhana. So wherever Krishna, there is always a win-win situation. No question of defeat. So there are so many sign of Pandava victories is now Sanjay is relating to the Duryodhana. Goddess of fortune. Wherever Krishna is there, Lakshmi is there. Lakshmi never gives up the association of the Krishna. Lakshmi means what? Fortune. That means Pandavas has got fortune. Victory and fortune, both are now there. Then Agnidev chariot. The chariot Arjuna was having for the war is gifted by Agnidev. And this is fire god. And this special chariot was capable of conquering all the sides. So there's a very, very special chariot. And Hanuman on the Arjuna flag. That is very important story. Hanuman, when Bhim requested Hanuman to take side of us during the war, so Hanuman agreed. Hanuman's presence on the flag is another sign of victory, as he cooperated with Lord Ram for victory. Both were now present to help us. So in Ramayana, you know that how Hanuman cooperated and assisted Lord Ram to win over the Ravana. Now also same Ram is there, Krishna. So therefore, now both Ram and Hanuman, Ram is Krishna and Hanuman present to help Arjuna to come out flying colors, to win the victory. So how much arrangement, one verses if you see, you can understand that the Arjuna already the war is won by Pandavas. So much deep is there. I'm not going, still there are deeps there, So here I have given these things. And now after the council blown, everything done, and the situation is very tumultuous, just like a war, they're firing nowadays, firing the blank firing before the starting of it. So now Arjuna requests to Achutya. Achutya means Krishna, Chutya and Achutya. He tell that Arjuna, Pasena or Ubhe Madhare Ratham Stapaya Maya Achutya, Javat etan Nirikhyam Dho Kamam Abasitam. So Arjuna say, oh, infallible. Achutya means infallible. We are called Chuta. Chuta means fallible. So our Krishna is always infallible. Please draw my chariot between two armies so that I may see those present here who desire to fight, with whom I must contend in the great trial of arms. So here very important point, Achutya. Lord Krishna is actually infallible. But still out of his causeless mercy, he is serving his devotees as a charioteer. The charioteer position is actually not as good as the warrior, But Krishna agreed because he is Bhakta Vatsala. Another transcendental quality of Krishna is Bhakta Vatsala. Although he is infallible, but he is accepting that lower position to serve his devotee. Because he is Bhakta Vatsala. Bhakta Vatsala means he never failed in his affection to his devotee. How great Lord is, no? He became a charioteer. One of the very wonderful story from Chaitanya Chaitamrita. So Chaitanya Chaitamrita, he said that one person, he is reading Bhagavad-Gītā, he is very illiterate, ups and down. So everybody is laughing, oh, you are reading Bhagavad-Gītā like this. Then everybody is mocking. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu passed by. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was little bit of what you say, apprehensive, bit of want to know what is going on. He approached that person. So he told, you are reading Bhagavad-Gītā? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. My Guru Maharaj asked me to read Bhagavad-Gītā. So I am reading. But I am illiterate. He understood that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not approaching to mock him, bully him, but seriously is asking Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, why you are reading this Bhagavad-Gītā? No, my Guru Maharaj has told, but I am illiterate. I do not know. I am reading like that. But then why you are crying? Because when I think of the first page, first cover, where the Krishna becomes the charioteer of the Arjuna. So I am crying how great, how glorious, how magnanimous the Lord is, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who became the charioteer of who agreed to become charioteer. Although he is infallible, although he is supreme, although he is omnipotent, still he is agreed to be charioteer of his devotee. By thinking that, I am crying how the Lord is magnanimous. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that you have actually understood the meaning of Bhagavad-Gītā. Others are just academic knowledge. Actually understood how Lord is so great. This is called transcendental relationship between pure devotee and Lord. Lord is always Aham me bhakta paradino sutantra eva. This is transcendental. So supreme position cannot be unchallenged under all circumstances. Krishna remains Supreme Lord because for the affection to the devotee, he becomes charioteer. He is never, we should not underestimate or undervalue the supremacy of the Lord. So Arjuna has no desire to fight his relative, but was forced by Duryodhana's obstinacy. He wanted to see the leading person bent on his unwanted war. He wanted to see who are desiring to fight this obstinate Duryodhana, So this is where the bewilderment come. Bewilderment come here because he's observing, when observing the army, when he asked Krishna, I want to see, draw the chariot. Krishna draw the chariot in the between of two armies. Then Krishna also spoke, behold, Arjuna, both the army. So Arjuna asked Krishna to draw the chariot between the two armies to see those wishing to please Duryodhana, anxious to identify leading main fighter due to Duryodhana obstinacy. So here it is said that observing army. Now Arjuna sees all kind of relatives, all kind of relatives, Sojana, Partha, seeing all kind of relatives. So by his father is there. Father like Urisarva, grandfather Visma, Somadatta, teacher like Dronacharya, Kripacharya, material uncle Salya, Sakuni. He saw the brother Duryodhan, his son Lakshmana, friend Aswastama, well-wisher Kitavarma. Sight of all these great of friends and relatives he is observing. And he saw that I am going to kill my friend, just like, if somebody asks you, you kill your father, you kill your relatives, you kill your, see, Arjuna's addressing as a Achutya also very meaningful. He not just speaking the name or addressing the Krishna as a Achutya just like that. He understood Krishna, although you agree to my chariot, you are infallible, Lord. Every word has got meaning. Arjuna used also very intelligently every word. So here he is saying that you know um, Arjuna could not take it. No, is relative to fight, relative to kill. No. So what it did overwhelm is compassion, because devotees are very compassionate. That is their nature, very compassionate. One of the nature is compassion, devotees. So he is not to kill. Vaishnava means compassion, not to kill anyone, even an ant also. That is Vaishnava. There is a story is there. Then one of this hunter, he was always not killing animals, but he was half killed, torturing them. Narada Muni came, stop this. He told, this is my livelihood. How can I stop? No, you break your weapon and all. I will give you the financial support. Okay. Then what he told, you go and sit down in the bank of river. You chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. I will provide all finance. When you chanting, everybody thought that, oh, he became sadhu. Everybody coming and bringing so many things. It's a custom to give sadhu. Sadhu do not go for working 9 to 5. So for their livelihood, the grahas, those who have concession, out of 4 Varna ashrama, out of 4 kind of cultural advancement, brahmachari, grihastha, vanaprastha, retired life, and renounced life, only grahastha, householder life, is allowed to go for work. And all 3 are dependent on grahastha. A brahmachari, the student life, he has no income. Renounced order of life, also no income. Even retired life, vanaprastha, no income. All 3 should depend on grihastha. And grihastha duty has to provide the financial support. So everybody is coming and giving that person, and that person was telling so much. One time Narada Muni came with Angira Rishi or something. So then he saw that some ants are going, and that person was slowly taking away the ants because he may step on the ants. That person who was killing and torturing animal, half killed. He likes, he don't like to kill. He want to torture. Half killed, he leave this. That person, when he turned into a sadhu, become Krishna consciousness, a Vaishnava, even an ant also he do not want to kill. That is the change of heart. So Krishna consciousness is a purified mind, purified heart. Prabhupada loudly saying everywhere. Purified heart, purified mind. Cheta darpana marjanam. That is Krishna consciousness. It's not just affiliation. I'm Hare Krishna, Putik Tilak and Kantimala, dhoti, silk sari, dhoti, cotton sari, say border dhoti. No, this is not Krishna consciousness, not affiliations, not kind of sentiment, some groupism. No. Is say essential transformation of the heart and mind. So here, Arjuna is already a Vaishnava, so his compassion. Oh, I am not going to kill. I am not going to kill my. He decided not to fight. That's all. Then Arjuna bewildered. This bewilderment Arjuna. And then finally, Arjuna compassion's reaction. So how he reacting that Vishta Mamsojana Krishna Jujusam Samupastitam Siddhanti Mamagatrami Mukham cha Paripushyati. He is so much compassion reaction coming. My dear Krishna, seeing my friends, relative present before me, such a fighted spirit, I feel limbs of my body quivering, my mouth is drying up. This is compassion, this is not weakness. That because genuine devotion means all goodly quality. Prabhupada is writing that 5:18-12 reference, the Jasyasti Bhagavati Bhaktir Bhagavati Akinchana Tasyati Samasate Suraha. Sarve Gunese Samasate Sura. All kind of good qualities will manifest. Those who have unflinching faith, unflinching devotion for the Supreme Lord. So it is not a weakness. Arjuna is not like due to weakness, but actually due to soft-heartedness. Devotees are soft-hearted. It's not like you have to hard-hearted. No. When more you advance in devotion, our hearts should soft-hearted. Not that I have to be obstinate. Oh, this devotee told me like this, I have to fight. No. It's automatically one has to be soft-hearted. The one of the symptoms Rupa Goswami say, bhava stage is completely soft. The heart is soft. More you advance, the softness of heart will manifest. So Arjuna is here soft-heartedness, not weak. So he told, oh, his reaction, he saw the reaction. No, I am not going to fight with my relative. So then he gives some reasons to Krishna. Why you should not fight? Also, Arjuna is intelligent. He is giving reason. How can I? Compassionate attachment. Arjuna has, because he is related to kith and kin, same family, it's a fratricidal war, family war. So therefore, he bodily conception of life. That is called selfishness. First we think of our body and bodily expansion, my wife, my children, my family. That is called bodily concept. So therefore, misplaced compassion from bodily relationship cause expanded selfishness. My society, my country, Mera Bharat Mahan, I'm American, I'm Indian, I'm all these things, expanded selfishness. And fear, loss of composure, indecision to execute Kshatriya duty, viewed conflicts with self-interest. Now, because he's bewildered now he's confused. Still, therefore, he is now, because once you are bodily concept, you cannot take the proper decision. Lack of enjoyment of family attraction. Then Arjuna say that victory is meaningless. Supposing I am going to kill them and get all the kingdom. Whole idea is kingdom. Whole objective is kingdom. So if I get the kingdom, what will happen? Supposing if my relative already died, so what will happen if I have opulence? Supposing somebody got some iPhone or car, he will immediately call his friends or relatives. Oh, I have got. That is called sharing or showing. What is the use of these opulences if all the relatives will not be there? Therefore, he refused to fight even for 3 wars. Then he is fearful of sinful reaction. He knows that he is right and these people are aggressor. That's his kind of aggressor is there. So they are aggressor because they have done all kind of things. They want to disrupt his wife. They want to kill them in fire. They want to use the, poison, administer poison in the Ladu to kill Visma. And they have done so much, mistake, not mistake, so much diplomacy, playing these games, gamble. So all the things they have done, they have committed all kind of mistake, therefore aggressor. According to Shastra, aggressor can be killed, there is no sin. Still, Arjuna feared, because they are my family, and if I kill them, I will be implicated with sinful reaction, therefore I shall not fight Krishna. So destruction of family tradition. He told, supposing if I kill them, let's say I kill them, all the elderly people will die. When elderly people die, they stop the tradition because tradition is carried forward by elderly people. They know the system, so they carry forward the legacy. But if elderly people absent means automatically nobody knows and nobody follows. There will be a religion. Nobody follow the family traditions, religious sin. When a religion will be very prominent, womanhood will be polluted. Pollution of womanhood. Because women and child, they are like, women are like child, very emotional, very soft, very plain. They can be captivated. They can be manipulated by the unscrupulous person easily, just like a child. A child, you can easily bully him. You will say that you give me chocolate, give me this money, I will give you chocolate. Immediately they will give. So they are very, very, emotional, and so therefore women are like child, easily manipulated by unscrupulous person. As a result, whatever pollution of womanhood. When pollution of womanhood comes, unwanted progeny will come. Banna Sankara. Unwanted progeny means then you can see somewhere in India also, Meral station, Howrah station, Philippines also. Unwanted. Father, mother unknown. Child is just, do not know who is my father, and so unwanted progeny will say, and hellish life of family and destroy. Anybody who does this kind of thing, I mean the whole family, and who is destroying the family, and for whole family it's the hellish life. How? Because usually they give offering some Pindo Udaka Kriya. Pindo Udaka means Shraddha ceremony for our ancestor. That will be stopped. So many, there will be kayas, there will be community project, all project will be stopped. In this way, things will be very chaotic, social chaos. So Arjuna thinking all these things, very noble thought, very moralist, very noble thought, noble reason not to fight. So in this way, he overwhelmed with lamentation, and Arjuna cast aside the bow and arrow, decided not to fight. So this is where the final chapter, when the Arjuna stopped and refused to fight, and he sat down. He sat down in the chariot. He was actually stood up to see who is coming to fight. But when observing all his relatives overwhelmed by bewilderment, compassion, and he has given some reason not to fight, after that he was completely lost his composure, completely dejection, and immediately sat down in the chariot, threw out his bow and arrow, cast aside his bow and arrow. So Arjuna thinking, for the matter of sense gratification and kingdom, I am not going to kill my kinsman. It is a greatest wrong decision. Therefore, by thinking all these things, he was overwhelmed by grief, and again sat down in the chariot, casting aside his bow and arrow. This is the final verse of 146, final verse of Bhagavad-Gītā. So here the lesson what we learned, Prabhupada is writing central point of Bhagavad-Gītā. Lord wants and demands that living entity satisfy his sense. By the spell of illusion, one try to be happy by serving his personal sense gratification in different form, which will never make him happy. Instead of satisfying his own personal material sense, he has to satisfy the sense of the Lord. That's the highest perfection of life. The Lord wants this and he demands it. One has to understand the central point of Bhagavad-Gītā. Srila Prabhupada prefers to Bhagavad-Gītā as it is. That is the turning point. That is the main point in take away lesson. Arjuna, why he reasons not to fight? Why he declined to not to fight? Because it is not palatable to him. It is not satisfying his senses. That is the central point. Sometimes we have another point. I will discuss on this. And this is the main point, central point Prabhupada writing. But Krishna wanted this war because dharma, so he wanted to establish dharma. He wanted to establish Pandavas as dharmic. He wanted to establish a dharmic king, Yudhishthira Maharaj, as a emperor of the world. He doesn't want adharma to flourish. His main purpose of descending here to dharmasya glanir bhavati bharat abhithanam adharmasya tadatmanam sujam. to establish this dharma. Therefore, he wanted this fight. Arjuna do not want because he want to satisfy his sense. He does not want to satisfy Krishna's sense. That is the central point, actually. Central point. Jasmin vigyantam sarvameva vigyatam bhavat. Our whole idea how to satisfy Krishna's sense. Just like gopis, they give up everything. They want to please Krishna. They want to satisfy Krishna. That is the real goal. Sarva dharman parityajam mamekam saranam. Without satisfying Krishna, nobody came. Jagata tustam, Jagannatha tustam. Jagannatha tustam, Jagata tustam. If Lord is satisfied, everybody is satisfied. The verse is there. Now, last time I was giving Bhagavad-Gītā Canto 3. It is said that when Lord is satisfied, of course, many verses is there. Yat tarur mula nishchana. When you pour the water on the root, everything will be get energized. So our central point is Krishna. Another point Prabhupada has mentioned in the lecture, I did not add it, I will add it. This is not a final version of material. I'll send you after that. I'm doing little change. And the second lesson Prabhupada says, Jasatma buddhi kunapeti dhatu. Why? When one is in bodily conception of life, one is thinking, I am this body, this is my paraphernalia, so much attached to his paraphernalia. That causes this problem. That causes the real problem. That will create lamentation. Arjuna is called, first chapter is called Visada Yoga, Arjuna's lamentation actually. Arjuna lamenting on account of bodily conception of life, misidentity. You do not know I am the spirit soul, I am not the body. The first fundamental lesson Krishna is giving, second chapter. Fundamental lesson. Arjuna, you because of bodily conception of life, you were thinking like that. You are satisfying his own senses. You are thinking I am the body and my purpose to satisfy sense. If you know you are the spirit soul and Krishna is this supreme spirit soul, and my duty to serve you, then all kind of things will be adjusted. Arjuna do not know, he is thinking that, he's acting, but he's acting as if he's identifying his body, his family, my kinsmen, all I and mind platform. Therefore, this all things are coming. The compassion is coming. This so much reason not to fight is coming. So that is the takeaway lesson. Two things we should understand. Both are integrated because unless we know our identity, we cannot satisfy the sense of Krishna. That is real purpose, central point Prabhupada said. But for that we need a knowledge. We need knowledge. We need Bhagavad-Gītā study very thoroughly, very systematically. That we should understand that first of all, this attachment, as long as the family attachment will be there, as long as we have got tinge of attachment, we cannot approach God. We cannot satisfy Krishna fully. Therefore, whole idea to get the knowledge and detached from all kind of mundane things. Jnana Vairagya. Bhakti means Jnana Vairagya. Bhakti Paresanubhava Virakta. This is the central point of Bhagavad-Gītā. We are not this human body in spiritual experience. We are spiritual body in human experience. That is the understanding of the second chapter. So thank you very much. If you have any question, anything we can ask. So I will make proper also. I already made 80% of this slide, so we can make more easy. So that easy to actually Bhagavad-Gītā, if you make it very thematically, systematically, very easy. So that you know these points and little bit of description of the point from the Prabhupada purport lecture, then it is easy to understand every chapter. So thank you very much. Hope you understand, because I took little more time because it's the first class. So I wanted to little bit of more, go little here and there deeply. Although chapter 1 is nothing, but Prabhupada has given a very, very, insight, very important insight. Even in chapter 1, we should learn so many things, So many understanding from Achutya, so many takeaway lessons, the word Achutya, so many things, there are become how the Vaishnavas, their compassions, how one should not be attached to his body, and what is the central point of Bhagavad-Gītā. And also you should understand that Duryodhana has a meticulous plan, but his meticulous plan was busted, was disrupted, destroyed, decimated by the Lord in 18 days. Because howsoever you do the meticulous plan in this material world, without God, you are zero. You are zero. Prabhupada says that you are zero. Jayasante Panduputranam, Jayasante, what is that? Jayatum Panduputranam, Jayasante, Jayasam Pakhe Janardhanam. Wherever Krishna, then your victory is there. Everything is there. Morality, victory, last verse, Bhagavad-Gītā, everything is there. So that is the point Duryodhana is missing. That is the point Duryodhana is missing. Where Sanjaya can point it out. Therefore, he is giving a sign of victory. Sanjaya is a devotee. Sanjaya understood in the beginning also, and in the end also. In the end also, he is giving opinion. There is no question of your winning. Because whole idea, whole the Bhagavad Gita opens with that hope and desire of so-called blind Dhritarashtra that we are going to win. But everything will be disrupted, decimated, and baffled by the Supreme Lord, by this Bhagavad Gita wisdom. So everything will be baffled. So that understanding also very important. And we can get a lesson from even Dhritarashtra. One should not be so desirous, so selfish. One is so selfish, thinking of I and mine. Then that is the biggest problem. That kind of selfishness, that kind of greed, that not greedy, I can say, because he was a king emperor, so he doesn't need any kind of kingdom. But this desire, this kind of I and mine platform, he wanted to cater, satisfy his own son. Therefore, that is not good. And that made him to lose everything. So everything has got a lessons by Acharya, by particular Prabhupada also. So if you have any, it is supposed to be chapter 2 because it is first chapter was covered last month, if I am not mistaken. Last month. Yeah, might be, but let's repeat. No, Avikshanaha. There's a beautiful verses. We should read Bhagavad-Gītā. I'll show you one verses is there. Very, very important verses for everyone to understand this one. So many things we have to. Let me open this. So I'll share this one. Entire screen share. So you can see here. So here very beautiful verses. 7, 14, 2 or 3. Yeah? 3, I think. 3 and 4. Here Prabhupada is mentioning. Prabhupada is mentioning how you read, how much I can read. How much I can read things. How much can I read Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita? Prabhupada says that another specific description here is Savanam Bhagavata Abhikshana, Avatara Kathamrutam. It is not that because one has once finished Bhagavad Gita, he should not hear it again. The word Abhikshana is very important. We should hear again and again. There is no question of stopping. Even if one has read these topics many times, he should go on reading again and again because Bhagavad Katha. Bhagavad Katha means Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Sisi, all. The words spoken by Krishna and spoken by Krishna's devotee about Krishna are Amritam. Amritam is nectar. The more one drinks this Amritam, more he advances in eternal life. So therefore, there is no question of, even after we repeat also, so many insight will come out. Different insight, Even if, again, if you give a class, different insight, because it's a revelation, it's not an achievement. At that point of time, according to our sincerity of presenting and sincerity of also receiving, hearing and glorifying, both depends on our sincerity, then it will be revealed to us. It's not like that we have to achieve it by our academic strength. We can understand. No, na tikaya, na buddhaya, aham vedmi, sukham vedmi, dasa vedmi, na vedmi. So the beautiful verses he say that I know Bhagavatam, Sukha know Bhagavatam, but Vyasadeva no one do not know. So because bhaktya bhagavatam graita. Bhagavatam should be understood, or Krishna Katha understood by bhakti, and not by na buddhya na tikaya, not by commentary, not by intelligence. So not by academic strength. So it is all revelation. So that revelation will come accordingly. So we do not know. Again, we will give a class. Krishna will reveal something so much different inside of no the first, even first chapter. So thank you very much. Then no question. So thank you very much for all you attending. So we will have. So I will send you the things. Very easy to understand all 18. You can go through all 18 chapter. Also, why it is more distinct, because Prabhupada has given the all this based on, specially based on these things, based on all the purport and lecture. So we have a takeaway lesson of every chapter. Even in the theme also we have a takeaway lesson. So I will add in the document so that we can know the entire essence of the purport, essence of the lecture of every chapter. So we have a takeaway lesson, what we learned from chapter 1. So I know Bhagavad-Gītā is not that enough for us, but I should know. Prabhupada says that one should study Bhagavad-Gītā or Bhagavatam like a law book, everything so scrutinizingly, everything, different angles, no. Always Prabhupada say, like a law book, like scrutinizing you, sir. Different angle. So different angle. People may give the class, they may not incorporate all these points, no, that what Prabhupada is mentioning in his lecture and purport. How, what is the reason why Dhritarashtra is asking question, why Duryodhan is approaching Duracharya, why, what are the sign of victory, or what are the reasons of not to fight, or why this Arjuna got bewilderment. So we have a reference verses also. Prabhupada refers some of the lectures, some verses like 1080, 13, 5, 18, 12, how Vaishnavas are very subtitled. So all these things are very important, very scrutinizing. So in this way, learn means we will be very nice. No? I mean, we can really understand, assimilate this knowledge properly through a disciplic success and through the Acharya commentary. Thank you very much, everyone. So all goes to Granthras Bhagavad-Gītā ki jai, all goes to Srila Prabhupada, all goes to all the devotees attended. So I will send quickly, I will send, tomorrow I will send this Bhagavad-Gītā, this one, Bhagavad-Gītā, what do you say, documents. Also, I have a one slide document. One slide you can know entire themes. In every chapter we got a one side theme, so that easy to understand. Sometimes you revise, you go to the one slide, oh, this is you know this flow, to know the flow. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna.